something that we've been observing since India has slowly started to unlock has been the trend witnessed in retail. Just this morning we had news that e-commerce sales are actually back to pre-COVID levels, and it's not just e-commerce, even QSR for that matter is seeing a nice recovery, which makes us believe that maybe consumption sentiment has really started reviving. You could attribute it to all the pent-up demand as well, as India now slowly starts to unlock after almost 3 months of a lockdown. So what are the telltale signs? I mean, is on-ground retail as well recovering? Is offline retail recovering at the same pace? Let's bring on board Lalit Agarwal, the CMD of Mart Retail. Mr. Agarwal, pleasure having you with us today on ET Now, and thank you once again for joining us, to sort of give all of our viewers a glimpse of what things are looking like on ground. So tell us, since Unlock 1.0, which was basically roughly at the beginning of this month, how have things been? I mean, are you seeing customer walk-ins? Has that has the walk-ins increased as the days have progressed?
Good afternoon, everyone. So there has been a very, very topsy-turvy cycle which is going on. And first of all, to open up those stores was a Hercules task, and which we managed to do. And a lot of state government, a lot of central government support was given. And we had really a very, very good collaborated work, and should want to thank everyone and our Retail Association of India. So after the Unlock 1, what we are seeing is there was a good pent-up demand that was visualized in certain states, especially states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, got a good pent-up demand was really seen, both in small towns as well as bigger towns. Larger, the state capitals would have seen a little lesser of those footfalls. The first week was very, very good. From the second week onwards, we are seeing once again it is coming back to the normal, and we are seeing a 20 to 25% decrease in the footfalls and the customer or the sales in this particular week. So there was a requirement, and there was a much needed demand for certain easy wear, relax wear, sports wear, home wear, kids product, infant products, all these items which people wanted, and they came out in numbers, and then they bought those in spite of the social distancing norm that we had to follow, and the kind of trust that we gave. People queued up outside our stores also in a lot of locations to try and get those products, wait for 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get their turn and do the shopping. So we've seen all kinds of things happening, but there has been also few states where we have not seen those pent-up demand also coming in. We have not seen any kind of rush which is happening. But slowly and gradually, those states which did not see a pent-up demand, they are once again their rate of increment in footfall is going up. This is how we are seeing, because there has been a very, very mixed response. But as customers are able to fulfill their regular needs, they once again are going back to the silos, because there are not too many events and festivals or marriages happening in the town. So there is no real need for those formal wear, party wear, and those new clothes. So that is why the demand has not been as what we could have done or we could have expected.
All right, but nevertheless, in the apparel segment as well, it's comfort wear, home wear basically, for which customers are shopping at Mart. So I just want to know, Mr. Agarwal, now that obviously the more luxury segment of apparel, like you mentioned, because there are limited outings or almost no outings actually happening, no weddings, etc., formal occasions happening, would you now be considering, changing Mart retail strategy towards the more lower end of apparel, like you mentioned, comfort wear, etc.? I mean, would you be sort of re-strategizing in terms of your offerings to customers?
Yeah, I think, but definitely we need to do that, because the customers are losing jobs, and a lot of people are losing some salary, or there's a decrement in their earning potentiality, and the businessmen are even not earning the same. So I think, overall people are economically impacted, and there's a huge impact which is saying. So we know that people will live with less, and that's the new mantra. So we need to also do more with less, and we need to understand what will work and how we'll be able to create more value for customer. Because today he'll be looking at more value for money, and he will be wanting that because his needs are there. He want to wear those products. He want to not spend too much of things. He will want that to happen. So I think we are also really focusing very hardly on trying to bring down the cost of the product for the customer, work more on the lower price point products. And as you know, easy wear and comfort wear are going to work more. So they are not relatively lower price points also. And the denims and the trousers and shirts of the world will still see some more time to get up the demand. So we will see that happen, and even some of the essential products will come back, and their demand is going to be continued and can increase. Even some home requirement products, or even some essential products are there where the demand is going to increase, and we will also bring in those assortment of either wellness or beauty or even the hygiene products which are required today.
Right. So, as and when things are returning to normalcy, or as and when we are seeing things, getting back to normal, can you just tell us that how is the cost of the company increasing to maintain social distancing, or it's really not a big deal, when you consider the overall scheme of things?
Definitely, there is a cost which is involved, but because looking at the size of the operation and looking at the size of the store, it is not too big. But yes, there is definitely every store has to spend more than 1,000 rupees per day, which is 30,000 rupees per month, which turns out to be a big number. But yes, that is a cost which gets added up, whether in terms of mask providing, or in terms of gloves, or in terms of sanitizers, or even the sanitization which happens in the store, because where you need to regularly clean up the stuff and create those hygienes. So there is a lot of care that we need to take, because ultimately what is important is trust. Because why will customer today to come and shop with you is only because he trusts you. He doesn't want to carry corona around with the product. So he will want to only shop with those brands which are giving them those hygiene and safety, both on the floor space and also with people. Because our employee needs to be also hygienic, and they need to be also very well trained, so that they are able to give them those trust which is required to the customer at these times. Because this is very, very difficult time both for our employee and our customer. So we are working on it. Yes, there is a pressure on the cost, but I think that can really get wiped out. There are a lot of other costs, fixed costs, which are already being spent by the company, where we are not getting a lot of relief, maybe the employee cost, maybe the rental cost. So there are a lot of some costs where we are, and there is one more addition. So yeah, there is.
So you've spoken about pent-up demand earlier. How long do you think this pent-up demand will stay? Or do you think that, after a point of time, this will become way of life, and, normal demand would come in, but in a social distancing manner?
Yeah, I think a lot of towns and a lot of cities, we are seeing the pent-up demand getting neutralized, and we are seeing regular demand coming back. And it is going to stay maximum 15 days or a month. I don't think it is going to stay more than that. It is going to be an everyday life, because people now understand that we are not going to see another lockdown. We hope we are not able to see another lockdown. And still, even if the lockdowns are there, the essential products are always being supplied, and there is no scarcity which is done. So, which has been a good thing which has happened in our lockdown, where the government and the retailers have done a really wonderful job in trying to maintain those essential supply chain. And I think, that pent-up demand anyway is not going to be there going forward. And we will see normal demand coming back. And there are some events happening. There are some smaller marriages with 50 people happening. There are smaller work which is happening. Life is coming back to normal. Businesses are starting. So I think, there will be also some demand, normal demand, which is going to grow up.
Right. So thank you so much, sir, for taking our time for us. Always good to get perspective from you. Thank you so much.